Fear has many faces, and sometimes it doesn't look scared. Sometimes it looks super skilled. It puts on different faces, and so when you hear the word fear, you can dismiss it by saying, "Well, I'm not fearful. I'm not scared. I can relate based on my gifting." It looks super proficient. It is ultra performing. You are better at what you do than anybody else, and that's fear too. It looks different. It has a different face, but it's fear. And I had this interesting thing that was going on inside. Like I could see that some people, you have related to others at a covenantal level. So what you were doing, what you were saying, what you were offering was at a covenantal level, and it was reciprocated to you at a contractual level, which is completely different. And it sabotaged what God was doing in your heart. Anne-Marie, I think you were one of them. I love you. But that really sabotages what Tim was saying. You've been praying for this, or you've been longing for it. You heard a sound in heaven. And so think, if you were your enemy, what would you do to keep you from entering into God has destined? And he has picked up, the enemy has picked up a sound too. So what is he going to do to keep you from entering into that destiny? He's going to try to sabotage it before you get the genuine. You're going to get something that's going to hurt you and wound you and jack you up so much. By the time the real thing comes around, you're going to be determined to avoid it. And so I saw that the hands of the Lord were tearing the contracts. Those contracts are formed that, hey, if this is convenient, this contract is good for between us, and we'll put both our signatures at the bottom. And the Lord was tearing those contracts right here, and because your heart was wired covenantally, you were wired to covenant. This is being made in the image of God. He's a covenantal Father. He covenants. He doesn't retract. He covenants. Now, people may choose to break the covenant and to do whatever, but he's covenantal. He's not contractual. He's not going to change the fine prints. And so he was tearing those contracts. And I just sense a divine healing. It is very key that you get healed from a contractual response to your covenantal engagement. Otherwise, you're going to be confused. Because fear for you might look like, I'm operating out of my gifts, out of what I can give. That doesn't allow your heart to be open and to receive. Because you give, you're gifted, and people are impressed and probably undiscerning, and so you look awesome to them. And they allow you to continue to perpetrate hiding. And there's healing right now. I believe that Jesus is the Surgeon General, and he's operating surgery. He wants to tear those responses, those contractual ways that you've been responded to after you have really engaged at a covenantal level with people. And that degree of healing needs to hit your spirit. I'm sorry, I speak figuratively a lot, and so in images, and if it's not clear, just Tim may be clarifying it.
One more, just real quick, because I know we got to get out of here. But that application of Mano's word to me is, I extend a covenantal invitation to people all the time, and they minimize or diminish that invitation with a second level response. it's dialed down. I can tell the level of excitement and energy. They don't know me by the Spirit. They don't know what's been invited, so they have a lackluster response. Their very response isn't, this is a treasure. This is a gift from God. This is the greatest gift God could have given me besides Jesus. In other words, a family. What greater gift is that? A covenant family that is willing to love you unconditionally and help awaken your identity and your destiny. What greater gift is that? I mean, you should be jumping up and down. People should be running into this with like literally sell everything and get that. What greater is there than this? I mean, you see the kingdom, you sell everything to get the kingdom. Because we're on the planet for love. But what I get is, oh, that's interesting, let me go think about it. Or I'll pray about it. Or they'll come and they'll go. Like when I found out family, I literally did everything I could to be with my family every minute. I didn't put things ahead of it. So people's lack of attending, they're coming and they're going, they're kind of the indifference, the casualness. And so they hear this invitation, but they dummy it down by their reaction. And it creates hope sickness in me, and discouragement in me, and frustration in me. And it's like, I can't keep sending the sound out of love at a heart level and have this low level reaction. It keeps reducing, it hurts my heart, and it causes me to want to quit. And so it's not that anybody's wrong, it's that they're afraid. And they're hurt, or they just are ignorant. I don't mean that in a bad way. They don't know. They haven't been trained. Their hearts have been shut down. Even their own family life has been superficial. They weren't raised in a deep heart connecting. I mean, they barely showed up at their own dinners in their own family. So their own way of they kind of operated as married singles. They kind of came and went. They didn't deeply connect at the heart. They weren't self-aware that they were exchanging life. They talked more about superficial things than reality. So most people have no idea how to live from the heart. So when we send this language, it kind of hits at one low level, maybe a certain layer of the heart, but then they kind of brush it off and then just get on with life and try to survive. And so that's my pain. What Mano was describing is why I tuned it down. I just said, I can't keep living with this lackluster reaction to this invitation from heaven. It's painful. And so I'll just dial it down and do something a little less than covenant family. I didn't say it out loud because I knew I'd got in trouble with God. It was my heart that did it. I mean, God would spank me. If I just directly told God, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to tune it down a little bit. I mean, oh my gosh, it would be a bad day for me, personally, with what I know. But it's my heart, it's my level of energy on it. It's the lack of clarity. And the Lord really came to me and He said, you are doing no one a favor. You're not doing anybody a favor by speaking beneath covenant life. Because the whole Bible is all about covenant and kingdom. Just ask any Jewish person. It's all about covenant and kingdom. Messianic believers will tell you that's the essence of the word, is covenant and kingdom. The whole thing is about that. So we can't live beneath what Jesus' blood purchased. I won't live beneath it. And that's why I just came to this. If we have one person that responds, two people that respond, if it's Jamie, I'll walk with Jamie. I will father Jamie. Because Jamie's responding this way. She's gaining momentum. If it's Michelle and Kellen, I will do that. I really don't care if we become 30 people, 300 people, 3,000 people. If it's Sue, I will go with Sue. If it's Om and Kim, I will do that. And the person that's kept me most in the game is Mano and Lori. For me personally, if it weren't for Mano and Lori, I would have been... I think I would have come here and retired spiritually because I was so gassed out by this war. There will be no deeper demonic attack than on this topic. You will get talked out of this 1,000 ways from hell. Living from the heart, connecting your heart, because you are exposing yourself to the highest degrees of pain. So you will have to pick up your cross every day and love the hell out of people. And I'm not cussing. That is the way it's going to be. And so my assignment is to model that, example that, initiate that, and keep pressing it. And I am going to be like a broken record. If you're going to be around me, I am going to fight for love. I'm at a heart level with everything I have. And I am sorry that I didn't bring this level of precision to you earlier on. because we have been fighting with contractually based people, and they kept reducing the anointing in our room because they were under a spirit of fear and control and independence. And that independence and fear and control kept completely dousing, it was squirt gunning the fire on our hearts. Good. So, can we do communion? I almost forgot. Sue, do we have time, Marty, to do communion? Let's do it.
20 to 1. Okay.
That's okay, we got time. I said so. So do you understand what I'm saying? Kim, is this hitting your heart? Have you ever been shut down, Kim, for a little while? And waking back up. Is it scary? It's wonderful.
I know there's times when I just felt like people that were like walking around like zombies. We're the living dead.
Yeah.
You know, we're just walking around, going through the motions, not really alive at all. And I don't want to be like that anymore.
No. You guys ever been the living dead? Walking zombie? You ever had that, Kim? It's hell. But you can survive and get through life and end your life and have a decent, okay life as a semi-shut down person. And you think you're protecting yourself from pain. But that's not going to be the pain you hear at the judgment seat when God says, I had a fully alive, awesome destiny for you, but you lived in a self-protect mode, and you didn't love deeply from the heart, and therefore the fruit that you were supposed to have, you didn't have because you maintained this even keel life. And that's not cool. We're called to be agents of the love of God, missionaries on the planet that love people to life from the heart. And I tell you what, I extend from heaven the call with Mano. Please come and get your heart healed and get your heart open and get your heart connected. Let's build a family that does this. And I'll tell you what, this is fun. But you will have to wade through the dork factor of people, the weakness of people, the sin of people, the humanity of people. But guess what? They're going to do it with you too. So, there you go. Praise the Lord. Okay, this is about